mainly the Swiss and the Italian communities are out in force right now. The Italians for obvious reasons, and the Swiss to basically defend against Pineapple Pizza. Here is the lore for everything, guys, if we were to look into the actual operation here. Early 2020, Italia erupts in outrage over rumors of Switzerland planning to introduce pineapple on pizzas in northern Italy. Mid-2020, tensions rise as Italian pizza purists protest and mock Switzerland's culinary plan. Late 2020, Italian authorities uncover evidence of Swiss involvement in criminal pineapple activities, including smuggling and black market sales of pizzerias in northern Italy. There's a mission starting here, but we gotta continue this lovely markup here. 2021 to 2023, the situation escalates as Switzerland's criminal pineapple activity becomes increasingly brazen, leading to confrontations between Italian and Swiss authorities at border checkpoints. Early 2024, a border clash erupts when Italian guards intercept Swiss pineapples bound for northern Italian pizzerias, resulting in casualties on both sides. March 2024, Italy launches a cross-border strike targeting Swiss bunkers suspected of housing the pineapple smuggling ring, aiming to stop the culinary blasphemy. You can read all of that in the historical context in the mission command, by the way. But let's go ahead and break things down. They've got some bunker setups for everything in the AO here. This is mainly going to be an infantry-only fight, but let's go ahead and cover the objectives here. So Op 4 is going to be our Swiss forces on defense. My music just died. Hold on. There we go. Get that reset. So, Blue 4, the Italians are going to be on offense here. We've got a massive mix of weaponry. There is about 160 people on server. We've got, magnified optics for everyone. Good God. But we've got 5.56 rifles in play here. Got pit bull scopes on everything. We see some MG3s in play. I also saw some 249s, so they could be mini-me's as well. But they've got transport trucks, 2 MTVs, and 2, rubber dinghies, which I think can fit 5 people each. Otherwise, I'm not seeing any sort of AT for the players here, so it's just going to be GLs and machine guns, both light machine guns and medium machine guns. Looking at the Swiss, they're separated across various areas here. They're going to be rocking SIG 5.56s here. We got some marksman rifles in play as well. And they also have pitbull magnified optics and whatnot. We got some 203 system in plays. We got some 50 cal statics. And otherwise, that appears to be what we have on the main side of things. They have a Fennec MRAP and then a single transport truck. I also know that Op 4 have 3 NLAWs to potentially strike at the ATVs. I'm not sure if they spawn with them or if they start with everything, but regardless, these are the forces we have. Settler going to be commanding Blue 4 with Ventilege as the 2IC. Op 4 is going to have Kevin commanding with Depso as the 2IC. I'm not going to name 160 players. I'm so sorry. That's going to take me literally 10 minutes, and I still need to go over the objectives here. So, here is the deal. Blue 4 has a lot of different ways to score points. Remember, this is an OFCRA match, which means that the only way for one side to win is to score points tied to the objectives in play. So, there are 2 crates in the southern bunker that have pineapples to put on pizza. They have to be destroyed, and they've got a really funny image on them. But you can see that they've been customly built into this area, and you can see a little map diagram of the bunkers themselves in the mission command. I'm just trying to find the actual entryway to them here. I gotta hold Alt to go a little bit slower. But alright, let's actually follow along with the actual entrance. So it's right here. Gotta be careful with the amount of players and then the amount of stuff we've got going here. Alright, they got some little areas to do some scenic overlooks as well. Alright, so here's an example of what one of the boxes of pizza pineapples look like that need to be destroyed, and I assume this will change color if it's been destroyed. But otherwise, these 2 boxes need to be destroyed. That will gain Blue 4 1 point. If both boxes are defended, then that gains Op 4 1 point. If one box is destroyed, but one box is prevented from being destroyed, neither side will gain the points. At the northern bunker, There is a truck and a crate hidden away. Let's go ahead and have a look at that one. So they've got a static Namar right there. That might be an actual turret, but we've got that sign right there. So this is the laptop here. Yeah, that thing needs to be destroyed with fire. And then there is a crate somewhere around here as well. Ah, so there's more over here as well. Looks like the rotation of the images got a little screwed up, but that's fine. And then here's the second crate. So all of that needs to be dealt with. So it looks like the first computer and the second computer, once the first computer is hacked, that's it, but the second one can be unhacked. And those are each worth a point. And the trucks are also, the truck and the crate are also worth a point. So the computers are separate objectives. And then red 4, 5 people or less at the end of the game. So if you somehow get a group of 80 players, and by the way, the numbers are slightly skewed. Blue 4 will have a slight number advantage with the full squad, so it's really going to be, if we divide 160 by 2, that's 80. So about a full squad is about 8 guys, so it's really going to be 88 versus 62 or 72. Either way, I think it's 88 versus 72, actually. That math checks out. So, slight number advantage on Blue 4 because they are the attackers, but if you get the opponent to 5 or less players, you gain 2 points, and then vice versa for Blue 4. If Blue 4 gets knocked down, a 5 or less player, Op 4 gains 2 points. So, it's just all about basically controlling those bunkers. Blue 4 has a nice defensive advantage, but good God, this is going to be an interesting mix. And they got Swiss Command marked up here. I think this is just to mark their convoy coming in, but the Swiss are divided amongst 2 objectives. I'm curious to see if Blue 4 is going to try to attack these one at a time, go for the northern bunker, maybe leave a squad to defend it, then head over and then hold the second bunker as well. But we'll see if the Swiss forces go out and try to set up any ambushes along the AO. Also, this map is Libor. I've never seen it used in PvP or PvE for that matter, mind you, so this should be quite interesting. I'm going to go ahead and tab back into watching you guys doing one additional number count. We are up to 161, so it looks like we'll be staying around there, but my God, it is the fight for pineapple on pizza. I love it.
Yo.
How are you all doing? We're going to be trying to cover everything. I'm going to look down. You know what? I think we have a minute. Yeah, we got a minute, literally. So let's go over it. So we got Iceman, Diego, Vincenzo, Gonzalez, Toxic, Dava, Nicholas, and Newton on Blue 4 Alpha, Samuel, Kyle, Combs, Gonzalez. There's another Gonzalez. There's 2 Gonzalez's. There's Lewis and CBO. I love it. If no main, Ander, and Arena on Bravo. Charlie has Lengfell, Ragnar, Staub, Prosgren. I'm probably butchering their names. I don't know. Will and Herzog, those are their ranks. Weiss, Foosh, and Erman under Charlie. Delta has Rigel, Parthius, Wonder, Demovar, Nemesis, Mr. Dave, Zixme, and Garrett Hawk. Echo has Lolo, Alex, Rixav, Strike, even Django, Misano, and Camus. Foxtrot has Preacher, Baffo, Valmet, Fala, Eagle, Fafani, and Pio. Clearly, the Italians have Italian name-sounding players, right? Twig King, Quee, Camred, Fila, Pi, and Pro Hunter. By the way, the Italian side, they're all the sane people, right? Because you don't want to vote for the guys that love pineapple on pizza, right? So clearly the poll should have everyone voting Blue 4. Totally not showing my own bias in that. But Mudzine, Audrey Sip, Zahir, Adam, Jerma, Fox, Gerald, and Wojak under Hotel. India has Whiteside, Park, Killer, Dewitson, Oddball, and Mystic. And then the reserves have Striker, Richer. This is the most reserves I've ever seen. Mission has officially begun, by the way. An Unknown, Mardian, Claw, Lehman, Adamek, Nubas, Gregory, Super, and Q-Boy. They can form their own squad at that point. And then Juliet has Luce, Monson, Evergarden, Solomon, Beckham, there we go, Raven, and Andre. I also heard these guys got some really powerful weapons called AMXs. They have virtually no recoil, so they are going to be a squad to watch. Otherwise, we're seeing Blue 4 starting to deploy here. I'll go ahead and hit my page up so I can go to max render distance, which we're probably going to see because both sides have magnified optics. But again, Kevin, DevCOB in the command. These are all of our Op 4 players, the people we want to boo because they like pineapple on pizza, these dirty Swiss. Anyway, Group 1 has NASA, Major Khan, Wombat, Gazog, Banks, Tackleberry, Ash, and Eric. Group 2 has Phobos, Lestival, Spirit, Noel, and I'm going to call him Borebel. There we go. The Northern Bunker Command has Flip for Flap with Jexta and and Matsurachi, I think. And then the squads for there is Mr. White, Mancho, Adrian, Nimboy, or Nimobi. That's it. Jonathan, Emil, Rick, Hunter, Daedalus, and Delta. The second squad has Pingus, Barty, and Rizbo. Third squad has Sam, Lolo. Oh, God, that's not going to get confusing. Why did you put 2 Lolos in the same group? Seismo, Alexander, and Curie. Then the Southern Bunker Command has Kremet with Pupper and Von River. The squad for them has Fawn, Standers, Goose, Najapair, Rodrigue, Ratpicker, and Pierce. God, Pierce, I was just starting to like you, and now you're fighting for the pineapple on pizza, guys. Well, Pierce goes back on the shit list. Pogo, Dennis, Tundian, Callie, Barros, Gelgio? We'll go with that. Cheeseburger, Mike, and Michael. No, Cheeseburger and Michael. There's no Mike. All right. Third squad has Wiki Quartz, Templar, Pegard, Damien, Broskini. No, Brzonki. Obviously, my English sucks. Averleon, Snobus, Grisovsky. Fourth group, which is a light group, has Maxic, Turbosic, Rambo, Bambo, Rocky, Tymek, Giovanni, Drago, and Danila. And then the reserve group has Stefo, Unknown, Teco, Commodore, Tundian, and Phoenix. So again, Blue 4 have a slight number advantage. I'm going to turn myself down a page because that render distance was hurting. Otherwise, it looks like the trucks are deploying groups to cross the bridge here and then coming back down. So the trucks are going to be basically rallying people back and forth here. You got the boats coming up as well. So Blue 4 utilizing their limited vehicle assets to basically funnel people back and forth to the front line. Really smart call since they only have a limited amount to work with. Also, Bretcha, thanks for the 38-month resub, my man. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. So, chat, I guess because the door is open, also, Everett, how you doing, broski? But since the door is open, we have to ask, does pineapple belong on a bloody pizza, okay? There's a lot of schools of thought. I personally prefer the Gordon Ramsay approach, where he just outright says no. So, you know, I believe, based off of that, the Italians should honestly dominate today. But, I mean, in the polls, we have nearly 300,000 points for the Italians and only 50,000 for the Swiss. So I agree with you guys are definitely in the right here. The Italians should win this outright, completely. But anyway, we got the boats coming up. They're loading up additional people. Trucks are coming in to pick up additional as well. But they're going to keep ferrying people across to hit both of... I'm assuming, based off of this, they're, I think, going to hit the southern bunker first and then rally and hit the northern bunker. But looking at some of the Blue 4 statics here, looks like they've set up along this position right here. Ooh, this is a nice carved-in 50 cal bunker for Overwatch. That is quite nice. And we have another Op4 element right here trying to form a defensive line. This is a really nice map, admittedly. You could really do some nice World War II stuff with this one, especially. You think pineapple pizza is bad? My grandpa put pear and maple syrup on one. Lord Commissar Kitty of Doom. I'm so sorry. Anyway, Blue 4 already doing some Overwatch here, I think, to stop anything from coming and attacking them, but they definitely are just setting up to hit the southern bunker first. We've got one squad down here ready to go. More forces being trained across the river here, and I assume more are mounting up into the trucks at the moment, and they're just trying to get their manpower sorted. So I'd assume the rest of these guys are waiting for the vehicles to ferry them over. They can only ferry 8 people at a time because these are 5-man vehicles apiece. And I think Command is managing that as the rest of the force is being managed by trucks. They're probably being driven up to this bridge so they can then run across. No, however, I was bribed by data expunged, or Liru says how to put it. What? I don't know what that one means. That's alright. Look, regardless of the circumstances, I feel like this is going to be some really fun PvP. We got some internal bunker struggles to work with. We got magnified optics that are really going to help out both sides. This is a really nice hilly, not even hilly, mountainous map with magnified optics. I feel like this is going to be a lot of fun to watch. And either way, there's a lot that can go with here. So they just changed the render distance to 3,000. So yeah, you can see things from well a ways away. So we'll just have to see how this changes out. Regardless, we do have a strike team going around south. Op4 have set up a pretty nice defensive position all along this ridge. So we'll just have to see if they bring in additional QRF from the north. Because here's the deal. Blue 4, they have the number advantage. If they focus all of their elements on one sector at a time, they should, in theory, win this, because that is dividing the 60 or 72 forces to 2 platoons of about, 35 and 35, give or take. So, in theory, 35 versus, what, 86? Should be a pretty difficult fight for Op4. And the unknown is dead. And Killer is unconscious. Wow, okay. Not if Blue 4 somehow manages to inflict their own casualties here. I don't know what Killer did. Looks like he got off the boat and it might have driven and knocked his leg, or the frickin' rudder might have sliced his leg open, but he is now drowning. So we'll just have to see how things go. Razor, don't yawn. This is an incredibly important operation to determine whether or not pineapple belongs on pizza, okay? I feel like I should say, if the Swiss win, I should try pineapple on pizza. But you know what? Part of me doesn't want to make that bet. That's a grenade. I'm impressed that didn't kill anybody. Oh. We just heard a long-range missile attack. This vehicle just started taking fire from this Overwatch element. Blue 4 set up a very nice blocking position right there. We've got these other groups now coming around.
There around this drive.
And these trucks are now turning around. Not sure if they're going to grab more people or they're waiting for the boats to ferry the rest. But they might just set up a blocking position with those trucks instead, because I think the boats are going to rely on ferrying the rest of the people across. So Op4 trying to push up to secure the bridge. They are quickly pushed deeper into the tree line on the coast via this Blue 4 blocking position. Hey, I had some coffee before I started, so I entirely get it. And no, Pave, I don't know why you'd even ask that.
Okay, I'm just finishing this trench.
Alright, let me go ahead and start writing down some timestamps here.
Sit to the west?
Yeah, to the west.
Okay. I want to get that grenade, because it's always funny to watch people blow themselves up. Alright, so we've got Blue 4. This definitely means they're trying to set up any blocking positions to prevent Op 4 from trying to hit them on the rear, but they're definitely staging to hit the southern bunker first.
Linus, get over to me.
You know, Bretched, I agree. A pizza with mozzarella, chicken, barbecue sauce, bacon, and chicken is really, really good. For whatever reason, you wrote pineapple instead of chicken, but I assume it's because English is probably not your first language, so, I'll excuse that.
No, that's not.
I'll excuse that, buddy. I'll take pineapple over fish 7 days a week and twice on Sundays. Well, that's just you. That's just your opinion, Sapper. I mean, it's wrong, because fish is actually delicious. There's a lot of different types of fish you can eat, and they're delicious, but, All right, I think we have... What on earth? I have no idea. Well, that's definitely like a 50 cal or something firing from afar. That truck's now trying to pull away from that blocking position, but we have... I think that's a 50 cal static. Yeah. So he's trying to range it out, but he is engaging from... Actually, if we were to go back and put the camera on, we can get an exact range. So if we go right here and then I look out, we can actually read. They're shooting at guys nearly 2 kilometers away. And they're literally falling like 5-10 meters short. So that's pretty good ranging, all things considered. And we have another person unconscious on the coast. This time it's Wojcik. But I think Killer survived. And he was eventually brought up. But nope, Wojcik is dead. He drowned. Now, okay. There's a lesson here, guys. I mean, regardless of what you're fighting for, if it's pineapple on pizza, even though that's wrong. But here's the deal, guys. If you're going to be using the waterways, you have to make sure you have a partially used car battery to throw into the water so the electric eels have something to recharge with. Because if they don't, they get really pissy at humans, and they'll just kill you. So, just be mindful about that, alright? That's why in DayZ I always try to find a car battery to throw into the waterway so the eels let me cross safely, because if I don't, Wojcik's fate will become my fate, your fate, anyone's fate. So, be a charitable fellow and throw your car battery into the ocean. Again, not a fully charged one. That would hurt the eels, but, you know, like a weekend one.
I'll
Very
agree
important.
If you put some more pictures.
Clams, egg, and kiwi on the pizza work well. Noraf. That's what we call a troll baiting, guys. Obviously, no sane person would do that. Clams I've had on pizza. I've had, like, seafood pizzas, though. They're actually pretty decent, but... And then, yeah, the clams, okay. The eggs, it's borderline, but kiwi. Next thing you're going to tell me it's kiwi and pineapple that go together on pizza. Pulled pork pizza's good. Oh, yeah. No, definitely. But if you guys want to share your favorite pizzas, feel free. But no, those rounds keep falling short, so I don't think that 50 cal...
Fucking do the Raven, how?
Yeah, you can see the rounds going in the water there, but it's just not enough, and now they're overranging. You can hear them going overhead. Yeah, shrimp on pizza. I mean, there's plenty of great combinations for pizza, and then there's plenty of wrong ways for pizza. Bacon sausage Alfredo, that's decent. That's decent. Favorite pizzas: no cheese, onion, black olives, and sometimes shrooms.
0.5, essentially.
That's just a flatbread, Pave Cat. That's
So, yeah.
if you cut the cheese in the sauce. Actually, no. It's only if you cut the sauce. It's technically a flatbread. Prosciutto pizza is excellent. So, Pave, are you keeping the sauce on there? Maybe it's kiwi like the people. What people are kiwis? You mean the animal? Have you ever met someone named Kiwi? Do you just put them on the pizza? Like what? How does that? No, actually, I don't want to know. Arugula is great though. I grow my own. It's delicious. However, homegrown arugula, you don't realize is extra spicy. See, when you buy arugula from a shop, usually the leaves that have, you know, they've had time to basically mellow out that little spicy kick they have. But fresh arugula, no, that shit kicks your ass. It punches you in the mouth. Hey, hun. I'm watching the Italians fighting the Swiss because the Swiss are trying to smuggle pineapples to put on pizza in northern Italy. And it's caused an all-out war. I don't know, but that's just the op we're doing. But are you okay? Do you need a hug? Okay, BRB.
Pro, how far do you think you are?
You know, actually, while we have her, Bloodwing, what's your favorite type of pizza? Since that's incredibly important to the scenario. Well, just give me one. Do both. Give me the fancy pizza and the shitty pizza. Okay?
If we're talking shitty cheap pizza.
Shitty cheap pizza, alright.
Actually, wait, no, I have a third option.
Okay.
International.
Okay, alright. 3 options then. Give it to me.
Shitty cheap pizza.
Yeah.
Is pepperoni and bacon.
Obviously.
That's my like Domino's. and
Yep,
Papa
that's the
John's order.
shitty order. I get you. Fancy pizza.
Prosciutto and arugula white pizza.
Yeah, Don already brought that one up. I mean, that one's a great combo.
Delicious.
And then give me your international choice.
Greek pizza.
Greek pizza. Yep,
Greek
because
pizza?
you're Greek.
No, Greek pizza has a layer of ham in it,
Right?
and it has like bell peppers and stuff on top, and it's one of my favorite breakfast things ever.
But
It's delicious.
but here's my point. Are there pineapples on any of those?
No,
Exactly.
pineapples belong in desserts and on tacos.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Gold star for you.
Yay!
All right. So anyway, that is why Op4 have to die. Ooh. All right.
I can guess it.
Well, so my shitty
No,
pizza
no, no,
would
no,
be.
I'm gonna guess
Oh,
it.
I know, because I get it all the time. All right. Go ahead.
Okay, your shitty pizza.
Yeah.
Is the pepperoni and salami pizza.
Yeah, from Domino's or whatever, or a stuffed crust cheese pizza.
Or stuffed crust
Those
cheese
are always
pizza
nice.
with
It's a
pepperoni.
gimmick, but I love it.
With pepperoni.
Yeah.
On tacos, yeah, tacos are al pastor tacos. They have pineapples in them. Anyway,
This is OFCRA, not FNF. Oh, FNF is tomorrow, but I might not be covering it. Well, I'm telling that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Your nice pizza is a really good white pizza with ricotta on top.
Yes. A Bianca.
A Bianca
With
pizza,
ricotta.
yeah.
Maybe some prosciutto, too, if I can afford it. Head pets for the kitty.
Yay. Did I get it right?
Yeah, of course you got it.
Yes.
But yeah, no, Bloodwing loves to grab Al Pastor tacos, which is pineapple and what? Pork?
It's pork. It's shaved pork, kind of like a Yito.
Yep.
Meat, but it's like a mixed system.
See, and that's okay because it's not drowned in a cheese or a tomato, right?
I don't like. I get the concept of Hawaiian pizza.
Yes.
I do. I really do.
Yes.
It's not for me.
Mm-hmm.
I love me a good al pastor taco. The pineapple and the pork and the corn tortilla just work so good together.
Yes. No, I agree. It accents it. All right, so anyway, Blue 4 still advancing around, but we clearly see where they're going to be aiming for first. Op 4, they've got a pretty strong attack defense right here. Why are you rubbing your ass against me? I didn't say stop.
Why did you ask about
What? You're right, I won't ask about it. Thank you. But anyway.
someone with Italian blood in them? This is what's pissing me off and making my head hurt.
Well, Shark, it's okay. The Italians are Blue 4 and they're fighting for it, okay? So we got to make sure the Italian... Well, against the pineapple, right. They're fighting for Italians everywhere because...
SpongeBob's in my Italy.
What? No.
I do have a really not.
And Bloodwing has turned psychotic. Anyway, she's singing SpongeBob right now. But regardless, the operation, it's going to have to be in two phases. Blue 4 are going to try to take the southern bunker, and then they're going to push all these forces up to the northern bunker. I think they're holding these guys in reserve to set up a blocking position to stop any Op 4 from coming... What? Well, I don't want to go too far into food and personal life because we're trying to do PvP commentary. It's okay, though. Gold star for you. So regardless, we're just going to see Blue 4 set up this blocking position, try to stop Op 4 to come in. Yeah, and she just... But these guys being held in reserve are going to stop any QRF. If Op 4 realizes that they're going to be attacking the southern bunker first and trying to send stuff to reinforce it, these guys will stop anything that comes in unless Op 4 tries to pull them all the way back and around. But by then, they won't really arrive in time. So it's going to leave a lot of forces for Blue 4 to basically hit this position and try to utilize a number advantage as much as they can. But, you know, there's plenty of choke points, especially in the bunker area, that unfortunately, it doesn't matter how many Blue 4 members come in, it's still going to be a bit of a mess either way. To help the cause, I'm ordering 10 pizzas for Easter, double pineapple. Sapper, you know, you could just donate that money to the Lcpl Liru Happy Face Foundation, where we make sure that people don't get pineapple on pizza because they have sanity. But, you know, guys, I'm going to preface this. It's okay to be passionate about things, okay? It's okay to be passionate about liking pineapple on your pizza. You can shout it to the heavens. I just hope you're put down like the dog you are. Anyway. So Blue 4, another issue is the maneuvering as infantry on this terrain is really going to take them a while to actually, like, get up here and whatnot, and that's going to give Op 4 a good opportunity, the Swiss forces defending, to basically see Blue 4 coming in. But again, these are really steep ridges too, but the one worry I have is as soon as Blue 4 starts assaulting these positions, Op 4 could just cook grenades and throw them over, and pretty much stop any assault in its tracks. By the way, I'm not sure if you noticed, but I retied the gate after bringing the recycled barrel in, okay? Cool. That's the Bloodwing, not you guys. Unless you want me to do your chores for you, but you're gonna have to pay. Huh? Well, I do your chores. But regardless, because this is an infantry only, I feel like this op would have benefited from Blue 4 having a large transport helicopter to deliver more units in different areas, because it still would have been a bottleneck, but it's just going to require a lot of time to do maneuvering. And that's another thing about this op. It's a 90-minute round for OFCRA, but even then, it's going to be multiple kilometers to trek from the southern bunker to the northern bunker. So, point-wise, this does kind of lean on Op 4, because I think the northern bunker has more points tied to it. So, if Op 4, even though this is going to be a lost fight in the end, if they can stall Blue 4 for at least half an hour, that's going to make it nearly impossible for Blue 4 to get to the northern bunker without really rushing and making a lot of mistakes. So this is just going to be a massive fight of attrition for Op4, because Blue 4, they're doing a really solid plan, but it's going to take them too long to execute. Does PvP mean player versus player, pineapple versus pizza? In this case, it does mean both. Akagi is correct in that sense. Bloodwind's grinning over there for that one.
There's a load of blind spots.
Huh?
Bridges.
Well, how's it pronounced?
Close.
It's no, it's A-K-A-G-I. It would be Akagi then?
How close?
A-K-A-G-I.
Do you want to mute us? Everyone
Yeah.
radio, they're calling us out.
What did I say?
With the road. There's a little dirt road just in front of our position. They're on
Alright,
the
whatever.
line just under that.
Can we engage? Can we engage?
Yeah, we can engage. Wait till you get shot. Wait till you get shot.
Okay, okay. Pineapple on a burger, I would say, is borderline okay. Because you get the juiciness of a thin slice of pineapple complementing the meat directly. Plus, pineapple and marinades for meat is also really good, but we see Op4 starting to engage Blue 4 coming up this hill. I don't think that results in any KIA, but that's good that they noticed, so now we can see Op4 set up a defensive line. But we also see them... We got Blue 4 and another squad getting right up to this position, and Op4 is going to be drawn to that position too. Okay, because again, the pineapple's not being drowned out in a bunch of bread and sauce. Well, actually, no, the breading's okay. It's the sauce and the cheese that hurt it. But anyway, Blue 4 now getting up to this first position. And who is this? This is SB1 for Op4. So this is a mix of the 2 I see in command, and we've got Fonz, Pierce. Okay, no, so only a handful of SB1. Look at that grenade! That was a great grenade throw. The first group immediately taken out. We see some 9-baners being thrown down the hill. Some other grenades, but they're rolling down because they're not being cooked. So great opening right here by Blue 4 to get their foot in the door. Unfortunately, now we're seeing some blue on blue. And now, I think by watching these guys shooting at the defensive position, they just realized they blue on blued. Thankfully, no KIA occurred, but more grenades being thrown into the compound, and Op4 are quick to leave this position. Anyway, Break, thanks for the raid of 10. What were you doing, buddy? Ghost Wolf, how you doing? And Archer, thanks for a 20 month resub. Hope you all keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this. Some Op4 guys are starting to wake back up. Let's see if they notice. And immediately we're seeing one of the Op4 guys getting double tapped. He did get some shots on Blue 4, but unfortunately it was a quick takeout. Op4 now engaging from range here. And again, with how mountainous this terrain is, this is really going to be a fight of attrition. We'll see if Pupper wakes back up, because that was only a grenade throw, but I feel like if he was going to wake up, he would wake up. Or he would have woken up already. We do see Blue 4 getting knocked uncon and getting ragdolled down the hill. Them getting dragged down decreases their likeliness to A, be found, and B, implies more damage from them getting ragdolled down the area. So you see that Blue 4, they're taking fire from various positions. You got more Blue 4 coming up, engaging in CQC right on top of Op 4 positions. Very, very close to each other at this point. Looking at the whole map, we got this line of Blue 4 coming in, Op 4 having a line down here that are being intersected here, but another group of Blue 4 coming all the way around. I don't know what this group is doing. They're going way far south. They're kind of out of position. Maybe as an Overwatch element, and that appears to be what they're doing, but they're just so far off. If anything, I think they're firing on friendly Blue 4 here, but looks like that Op 4 element tried to run off and was immediately engaged. So Op 4, again, going to be playing a battle of attrition, just trying to stall the Blue 4 wave. But we already see some casualties are being mounted here. Actually, we already covered those. We've got Wombat also dead. Funny enough, he's the mission maker, and it looks like he died in this early garrison here. So Blue 4 spotted Op 4 elements trying to come in right here, and they're just going to be stalling that Op 4 group, as I assume Op 4 was trying to bring a group around to potentially flank around, but Blue 4 set up a really great defensive line against that. But now we have a potential issue for Blue 4 in something I like to call the Overwatch fallacy, where if we don't have enough players actually moving into the target, we just had AT, oh no, there's a tracer round going around. If we don't have enough people actually going to the objective and too many people set up on Overwatch, there's not going to be enough players to actually go and do the objective, and then Blue 4 is going to end up defeating themselves in detail by only sending a squad or 2 at a time on an objective that's held by 1, 2, 3, 4 different named elements. And you can see the amount of players actually on this hill compared to the other amounts going around. And you can see that this is a very infantry-heavy position right now. We need to see maybe one group stay right here and harass, and then everything else come around. So we'll just have to see how things go. Looking at Blue 4, the unknown guy is still dead. Fox died up here, but other than that, I mean, Op4 has been taking a few more casualties in the fighting so far. And that's the tough thing when you do attrition warfare, because if you pull back too late, you're either going to have grenades thrown right on top of your position and receive multi-kills, or you're going to run and they're going to shoot you in the back. But this is going to be the really big difficulty here, because Blue 4 don't have anything coming right on top of this objective from the hill base down here. And then there isn't really anything to take this area other than this force moving around, but there's still a decent amount of open distance. But Op4 might be broken up enough to stop anything coming up from this area. So, some people, what they'll do is they'll lower their render distance to increase their viewership, but I mean, and when I say viewership, I mean the range, but by doing that, you got about 40 frames. But here's the thing in Arma. The biggest frame sinks aren't actually having a bunch of players on the server. That'll make it difficult for network and desync and whatnot, where you have to fine-tune a server, especially when you go past the, 100-player mark. It's AI pathfinding. It's shadow effects. It's having too many vehicles on the map. That's what actually eats FPS. It's having too many high polygon assets like rocks. But having just a bunch of players down on a server is actually quite stable. But once you start doing that for like a Zeus mission or a dedicated mission, you're having to calculate things that AI do. That's what really starts bottlenecking the server. Samson Zeus. So I've covered 200 to 300 player PvP matches, no problem. There's been some network desync issues from time to time, but they usually mellow out after the first 5 to 10 minutes, because those communities, which ironically enough, they're the Russian communities that have that narrowed down to a damn science, but they also have their own black magic to stabilize the server for whatever reason, but I digress. The server still plays out quite well. But anyway, we've got Gulf for Blue 4. They're coming around trying to get on the high ground right here. They're also receiving some far overwatch, this defensive element here from Blue 4. But again, I'm really worried with the sheer amount of players I'm seeing bundling up in that position. But we're seeing Op4 getting folded off of this position. This is going to allow for Blue 4 to now move around and get on these high positions to start harassing any position that isn't in the bunker complex itself, and Blue 4 are going to start transitioning into the base. However, we are about to enter mid-game. To define, this is a 90-minute OFCRA match with 8 minutes of safe start time, so you add that 8 to the first 30 minutes, you have mid-game. First 30 minutes I like to call early game, middle 30 minutes I like to call mid-game, final 30 minutes late game or end game. And at Samson Zeus, thanks for the Twitch Prime sub, buddy. We cover large-scale PvP for Arma 3 every Thursday at this time slot. Usually it starts at 3 p.m., but daylight savings kind of threw things off, but it should start an hour earlier next time. So 2 hours ago, it's the normal start time, but we only started an hour ago because it's kind of daylight savings and that hour transfer. Friday night fights, which is usually smaller, anywhere from 80 to 100 players. That is at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Fridays. And then weekends can be a few different things, such as TBD or other events that I am sometimes invited to. TBD meets once a month. They're around 150 players, give or take. But they do a lot of vehicle-based stuff as well. And then once in a blue moon, we see WOG versus Solid Games or other communities like the Russian communities where we have that large-scale PvP. And of course, those are the only places that I cover often. Sometimes I get invited to do things as well, but those are handled on a case-by-case basis on the schedule. Kitty of Doom, if you want to make op suggestions for the Zeusing I do, type ! Discord, grab an Arma tag in that Discord, and then you'll see an op suggestion channel. Put it there. I do go through it at least once a week. Though I will say I already have a lot on my plate for what we're going to be doing over the next month or two. which is going to be some mini games, Terminator, Rat Road, and a few other fun things. But yep, we got more blue on blue. This is India firing up at Gulf's position because they don't realize that Gulf has taken this area. And then we do have some leftover forces in the middle, but we also have some CQC happening on this little area here. And we're just watching people dropping left and right here because of that intense fighting. But Blue 4 still pushing on. Again, I'm just worried about the amount of time Blue 4 is going to have to take to hit this position, but I feel like it could be slower. Funny enough, we've got Delta now going down the ridge. They're going to do an entire ridge scale, relying on Echo to overwatch for them. A little risky to do that, but with the amount of infantry they had here, that's definitely a better call than just having both squads staying here and doing overwatch. So none of Blue 4 falling for the overwatch fallacy. Instead, they're trying to commit what they can to the actual objective, as well as where they see enemy forces to at least push them back into an area to fight them off on. Alright, so we're seeing Hotel for Blue 4 fighting with the remainder of Op 4 elements in this area. We are seeing some grenades being thrown around as forces struggle to kind of hold what they have remaining here. But again, a lot of open areas, and then it changes to CQC bunker warfare. It's a very nice juxtaposition of both types of warfare in this PvP match. Regardless of if it's a meme concept, I really do like this, but wow. Great shooting by Glendale there. If he didn't open up, that MG3 would have torn him apart. And again, that 249 outperforming a standard 5.56 rifle. Real good stuff there. So he is on 3 kills now. But, I mean, if he can just kill off the trickling forces, that will stop this maneuver dead in the water, and then these guys can retake what's left of this position and still stay on overwatching area. So good call there. Righto, Ghost Wolf. Have a good one, man. Always a pleasure to have you on. More Op 4 coming in. He threw an explosive charge. And I think he just noticed. He's telling him to run. I just realized that tree's floating. And it still gets a knockout on Kui. As we had Snodgepair try to come around, but I think he just ran out of ammo. Quickly folds back after taking a few shots. With a long grenade throw. And that does injure more of Snodgepair there. Alright, looking at the rest of the map, Blue 4 still staying on this blocking position. Looks like they're sending another squad to come and assist this fight. Looking at the skull counts, though, let's do a quick head count. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so you gotta remember, Blue 4 started with an 8-player number advantage. It was about 88 to 72. Because this was about a 160-player operation. But you also have to remember, if people disconnect, they're no longer on the roster, so that skull count isn't the most accurate thing to keep track of. We just had another Op 4 player get killed. His body is still ragdolling. Remember, when a player gets killed off, their body will ragdoll for about 15 seconds. Ooh, Snodgepair gets knocked to the ground. Blue 4 comes up and commits. And Twig King pushes up. He's on 4 kills, mind you. Does a little bit of double tap fire. And we have another Op 4 member killed off by Overwatch, as Indiana has now pushed its forces up to reinforce this position. So we only have Tindian still alive. He does have 2 kills on him, but the other guy that had 3 kills with that 249, or Mini-Me, because they're just the same gun, essentially, but looks like he was trying to get under that bush, but only Tundian is the survivor up there, and he's got a lot of Blue 4 pushing him. So then we're going to see a pincer attack start up on this hill. And with the way that Delta has to kind of push up this hill, I think by the time this force starts moving in, it's going to meet Delta, and they're going to hit this bunker position at the same time. But Op 4 is running out of areas to do Overwatch elements on this area. Imana, welcome, buddy. Hope you're doing A-okay. And for all of you joining us, again, this is a fight for pineapple on pizza. Op 4 are trying to smuggle pineapples into northern Italy as the Swiss military to use them on pizza, and Blue 4 are the Italians trying to stop them. And so far, Blue 4 have been doing a decent job on the attack. A little worried with how long they're taking, because this is probably going to be a long round based off of how everything's spaced out and the lack of vehicle support. But regardless, if you are a clear supporter of humanity, Super Earth from Helldivers to whatever, you would know that Blue 4 are the good guys here, because who the hell would put pineapple on their pizza? Somehow Op 4 He dodges a grenade, gets a kill, and he's yelling, "You'll never take me alive" at this point. That grenade doesn't get in, so he survives. We have a 249 coming in. Funny enough, I think the 5.56 actually has a slightly higher fire rate than that mini-me, but unfortunately, he just didn't get the shots on target. But yeah, if you're a true human, if you are a lover of freedom and everything, you clearly want the Italians to win, because who the hell would want pineapple on pizza? Now, I understand the irony there. I think he just shot... Gerald just, he's immediately apologizing. Ain't that funny? No, but again, back to what I was saying. I know that, it's ironic for me saying that, you know, if you love freedom, choosing the option that negates people's freedoms is the right one. But some people can be wrong. Like that. I don't know why he didn't throw a grenade right there instead of running up and getting headshotted. But, you know, sometimes people can be wrong, and this is what deserves to happen to him, okay? Wow, some great Overwatch fire. Just got a knockout on that guy. Actually, no. He's all the way down over here, which means he slid off. Look at all that blood. Oh, he is... I don't think he's going to be savable. That's at least 20 to 30 wounds. Look at... Oh, my God. Yeah, no, he's kind of screwed. So, yeah, Blue 4 trying to go up with limited Overwatch to assist them. And funny enough, the Overwatch is shooting at friendlies. That grenade... All right, wasn't going to be much, but at least Zixme got up here. He's now engaging people from behind, getting multiple kills with that MG3. Wonder put some shots in, but went in front of Zixme's fire, but Zixme gets the 4th kill there. Look at how crazy that PvP is. I'm surprised Wonder's still alive for running literally right into the barrel. But Wonder manages to get that kill. We still have one Op4 guy down there, but they're starting to make their way up to this position. So we're seeing some Blue 4 getting right on top of this area, but we need to see this Blue 4 area start to transition down because Delta's not going to be able to take this entire area on their own. Zixme, again, one of the best players in OFCRA, but there's only so much he can do because attrition is a thing in Arma. With the amount of times you get hit, the amount of pain you take, and if you deal with that pain, then it lowers your heartbeat, and there's so many factors that nullify your ability to wake back up again unless get packed by a medic and fully treated. You still have fire coming up on this ridge to try to push Op4 off of these Overwatch areas. Zixme spotted, put some shots on Dalini. On 5 kills now with the tap. And you got some Op4 trying to move around over here, but they're getting engaged by Overwatch elements as well. I'm a little worried about Op4 because at this rate, they're not going to have a lot of people for the actual CQC area where they can get the most damage on Blue 4. But, you know, we're about 10 minutes into mid-game. Yeah, XCOM style, firing in bursts, seeing if you actually hit them or whatnot, right? But yeah, Blue 4 down to 2 Overwatch elements to stop any... oh, no, they've deployed. So Blue 4 grabbed the MATVs. They're now going to start doing scouting on this other objective, trying to see where Op4 is. That's smart. They could use those MATVs to ferry more people around. But we do have Blue 4 getting on top of the objective. But they still have to clear the outside and the inside. I'd imagine this is still going to take another 15 to 20 minutes to do. And we've got more Op4 sliding down. He just took 5 or 6 wounds to do that because it's too steep. We have another guy. Ooh. That's another 3 or 4 wounds inflicted. Gotta be careful. You aren't mountain goats in this game. You can't climb it like in Skyrim with your horse. You will fall and you will injure yourself pretty bad. So it's best not to end up in situations like that. And we got one guy watching this little entryway down here into the bunker area. Looks like we've got Wonder trying to move up, but it's too steep, so they're going to have to try to come around. But maybe if they have the arm, they could throw some grenades up there. But that's a difficult thing to assess, because if you miss... Wow, Zixme got sniped off on 7 kills, but... Op 4 attempting the double taps here. Grenades being thrown. That's going to get caught up in here. Bodies might stop. Nope, that double taps him. There's the risk of the grenade, but unfortunately gets stuck up there. Ends up flashbanging himself a bit. Hold on one second. Sorry, I tapped out to check something, but wasn't needed. Yeah, so now we're running into a bit of the Overwatch fallacy here. Echo's now moving up, relying on this position to do Overwatch, but there's no Overwatch on the actual positions that Blue 4 are moving in on. I think Echo's now trying to move in to receive Overwatch cover from that area there. I feel like Blue 4 could probably push one of these 3 elements down as well, but they're kind of leaving Delta out to dry here. But this is causing these guys to now push over to deal with the forces moving around over here. We also have Foxtrot coming in. Excuse me. To provide reinforcements here, and I think that's going to do well for getting the objective, but again, the northern bunker is worth more in terms of objective and points, so I think we're eventually going to need to see these groups start to move up, and that's exactly what we're seeing. I just wonder if there's a plan to take the trucks and move them over to pick these guys up and then move them to an area. That's what I think Blue 4 has to do at this point. Either utilize the MATVs and pull those around with 2 guys, or take the trucks on the road, grab the guys up on the southern bunker, and then transition them to a safe place that these 2 squads end up setting up. And we see that these guys are providing a decent amount of Overwatch on this AO as Juliet moves closer, and then I think Juliet's going to end up taking a position and then waiting for Charlie to bump up, either utilizing the bridge over here, but that would be more risky, or backtracking and coming to those bridges, or that one reserve guy is going to come around, get these guys with the truck, and then move them up to Juliet's position. They'll just slowly bump into each other's positions as they just do a 2-squad Overwatch and cover by fire up to the objective. But that's going to establish a safe dropping zone for trucks to come up and pick up the infantry and then ferry them to the front line so that Blue 4 shaves time to then attack the other sector. But numbers-wise, this position is eventually going to fall. It's just, as I was talking about, as we were gauging how it was going to happen and how Op4 can still come out on top, Op4 just needs to hold for as long as they can to stall a majority of the Blue 4 player base in this objective. And then we do have some uncon guys, but they're quickly getting treated and brought back up, so great attention to medical work by Blue 4, and great use of battle buddy systems to keep everyone going. But you see that they're getting hurt on this ledge here, so they have to quickly climb up, otherwise they take injuries because it gets a little too steep right there. So yeah, I would try to go around on that side, because this is, if you see blood on the side, that means you're going to slide down, so you don't want to risk going up it, but sometimes the players don't realize that. Mad Mink, well, that means you are an Op4 supporter, and I hope you're put down like the dog you are. It's as simple as that, buddy. Alright, so Blue 4 now starting to get on top of the position. I mean, Op 4 only having like 2 or 3 dudes. Actually, one of them's uncon. Yeah, 2 dudes in the bunker. I mean, this ain't good. Granted, one of them is pronating right on the entryway. You got shots from the SIG 556 coming out to stop the guys on the entryway here. And you got Blue 4 starting to enter the bottom areas of this bunker. And it looks like these guys traded, actually. But they see the body, so they're going to be incredibly cautious throwing grenades up here. But again, I'm a sucker for custom bunkers like these, so... Yeah, Twig, you got friendly fired, though. Did it not bring you back up? Or did you get killed by an Overwatch element? You did good for what you were given. Yeah, I don't know, though. I feel like Blue 4 are going to have a really solid opportunity. I think we just had some explosive charges get thrown in this complex. But this is going to fall in 10 minutes. Or less. Because Op 4, for whatever reason, decided to stay in these buildings inside the actual bunker area. Yeah, you got knocked out by a friendly member because you were in this fight, right? Did you not hear the local guy saying in his native language that he was sorry for friendly firing you? But yeah, no, if you didn't know, you got friendly fired, knocked out, and then I thought they were going to medic you back up, but I guess not. So yeah, these guys are going to offer a bit of resistance as these guys form in to go in. And they're receiving some pretty heavy suppression. Alright, so I would assume that these areas are gonna be mostly cleared. Yep, okay, so this computer's been hacked. So now we have the Italian flag on that objective, and then there was something for them to blow up. They haven't, okay, no, they have. The flag's been changed to Italian, so this has been destroyed. So we see that they have officially taken this position here. However, we still have a guy down here. I gotta look to see if that terminal can be rehacked. But Blue 4 now starting to breach and clear these positions. Nubass on a roll here.
I think I took the building 18.
I'm writing that one down. That was pretty funny.
Somehow. Put in power. Yeah. I've killed 2 people in here.
I love Nubass. He was one of my original fan favorites when I started OFCRA years ago. And it's good to see that he's still got it. I'm just waiting to see if this guy wakes up. But otherwise, I mean, it's Damien hiding in that one area. He's probably not going to move in. But he could go back and rehack the terminal later. Which would be one of the scummiest things he could do. Kermit wakes back up only for Django to hit him.
Jonathan might still be alive somewhere out there, but I'm not sure.
Part-time, I don't know how to respond to that one, buddy. Isn't metagaming a problem if you are streaming? You would think that, but we actually have a really good amount of staff that stay on. And we actually had someone get banned for a while for a potential stream snipe issue. So we have ways to track people on that. So don't you worry. Now, when we stream in the Russian communities, then we have like a 15 to 20 minute delay because they know how to circumvent the ways we keep security on it. But for communities like these, it's easier to manage.
Yeah, I killed 2 of them.
Alright. So Kremet got knocked out a second time. Looks like Damien came around and got a knockout but was taken down. But he could be still saved. So now it's a question of how quickly can Blue 4 transition to hit this final area because Op 4 still have a very solid defensive group around here. I'm sorry, is that a... Bro's got a Night Stalker on it. That's a thermal scope. Newton has a freaking thermal scope on his rifle. That's awesome. And he's got some bird feathers. So these are the special force element. This is that extra squad that Blue 4 have, and they have these ARXs, which, again, I was told have virtually no recoil. So they are the deadliest weapons in the game right now. You always have players living in the walls. But I think they were spotted by Mancho here. Yeah, he sees them.
Je peux faire feu si nécessaire.
So you see that these guys are covering north here. Long range accuracy is very bad. Yeah, that figures. I love how you have an Op 4 marksman. He's trying to fire all the way at Charlie here, but look at the bullet drop. So the fact the bullet's changing to blue means it's losing practically all of its muzzle velocity and just falling to the ground. But it looks like we have another group firing at Juliet here. But I'm curious to see what we're going to see transition, because I don't think Op 4 put any vehicles up here for Blue 4 to steal and utilize. So if these guys have to move all the way on foot to get to the objective, that's going to take them at least 20 to 30 minutes. And by then, the game's over. And it could very well end in a tie at this point, which I refuse to accept, and I hope Blue 4 gets a move on. Alright. So now we're going to have a little bit of downtime. We're going to have some little incursions here, taking some outside positions because Blue 4 sent some forces up. But again, Blue 4 really, really need to grab those trucks and start ferrying forces over, because otherwise they're just not going to have the time. That could be in the form of those trucks or the MATVs. The boats don't matter anymore. I gotta wonder if they kept the... Because these guys use the MATVs to get all the way back here. Did they send them back with somebody? Because I don't see them in play right now. I think they were just left back here. Yeah. Which sucks, because those could be really useful in ferrying more forces over, even though it would only be like a full squad, but at that point, that's what they need. So, of course, the guy with the... Nope, okay, I don't know where the, where's Newton? He's back here. He did get 2 kills, though, with that scope, so that is quite nice, but he then received some fire. Looking at, that's 1 death right there, and 1 death right here, and then we had a disconnect, so hopefully he'll be back before his character gets sniped. So OFCRA, if you accidentally lag out of the server, your character is replaced by an AI, and if that AI is still alive when you reconnect, you just take that AI back. This is fun. You got Juliet and Charlie firing up at this one position as these guys are firing up at Juliet. Juliet don't really have any good avenues to maneuver up to this position, though, because it has a really nice open lockdown area. I'm just waiting to see. I think Settler and Ven are going to cross the bridge and go back for those trucks. I think that's the plan. And then they're going to mount up as many people as they can as everyone else just kind of runs down the ridge. And again, I think they're going to try to cross and probably dismount people either in this town right here and just have them start running up, because that's going to half the distance, but they need to have all their forces kind of start moving down. Because those trucks driving these really far routes to the sides and whatnot, if Blue 4 just start running down the ridges, they can meet halfway and get much more quickly ferried. But it's going to be up to that command level and whoever's still alive on the squad leader side to start moving forces around. I'm really surprised to see these Op 4 guys retreating. This, to me, shows that Op 4 have a standing policy of just retreating if you start taking what they consider locally heavy fire. Because I feel like this position could have quickly and easily kept Blue 4 locked down here. But with Blue 4 forcing Op 4 back, that just means Blue 4 are going to be able to have more ground for their trucks to drop off the infantry closer. And since this has become a battle of attrition, with 36.5 minutes left, every minute is going to count. But I'm 50% sure we're currently at a tie game at the moment. So Solomon gets knocked out by some really great long-range Overwatch fire. That's going to force these guys off of the ridge. But again, I'm really surprised to see these guys getting off of that bunker. I think they're underestimating... No, they're overestimating the amount of Blue 4 that are actually in the zone. And I think Charlie, just with a bunch of sustained fire, was able to make these guys think that there was a lot more heat on that position than they actually thought. Another interesting point is Op 4 pushed off of these positions, I think, after taking 2 casualties. Blue 4, they took a KIA up here as well, but I think they're just going to keep pushing up and trying to use their marksman rifle to pick off what they can, but as they get a bit closer, the weapons are going to be much more effective. But you have to remember, those guys have the more powerful 5.56 weapons in terms of they don't have any recoil. Wombat, who made this mission, told me, yeah, they're kind of like laser rifles at that point with the how accurate they can be. But as I predicted, Command coming up to grab those trucks. They're going to grab that and start relaying their forces in. But Blue 4 are in a pretty weakened state at the moment with this assault, but then again, Op 4 are too. So you just see commanders making some pretty desperate decisions to get their force, for Blue 4 to get their forces in the field. For Op 4, they're still playing this incredibly cautious. But what I do like seeing is Op 4 probably in coordination with the Overwatch element here to see that these guys are actually pinned to a smoke and pulling back. They might actually come up and recapture that position. And I think the holding of this bunker is going to help determine the game. Simply because if Op 4 can keep the Blue 4 elements pinned here, that's going to keep them from obviously coming up to the bunker itself. Which means Blue 4 have to drop off their forces closer to the river itself, and they have to spend more time actually maneuvering up to that bunker. Rather, if Op 4 give up this position and Blue 4 take this area, that means Blue 4, instead of on the river, they can start deploying their forces literally right on top of the valley. And they've got a lot less distance to cover. It's still going to be a bit of a hike, but if Blue 4 are able to do this, I think they could get the other objective done within the 30-minute span. If they're forced to deploy on the river, I don't think Blue 4 are going to have the time to actually get to the bunker. And I think Op 4, at least this garrison, has realized its lesson. You have a lot more guys staying around the bunker site itself, ready to push into the bunker and make that final fight that much more difficult for Blue 4. And I think that was the major mistake that Op 4 had on the other area. They didn't have enough people stay in the bunker itself to stall out more time for Blue 4. I think if they had all of their remaining forces stay in the bunker and just play CQC there instead, throwing explosives and grenades to stall things out, I think Blue 4 would have lost in terms of attrition at that point. But again, I need to look at the actual point, the point spread here. So both crates in the southern bunker and then first computer are hacked. Those are both worth a point. So right now the game is technically 2-2. But alright, so whichever computer is hacked first counts as the first computer. The other computer in the bunker then counts as the second computer. So here's the kicker. If the second computer is not hacked, it is worth 2 points for Op 4 instead of 1 point for Blue 4 if it is hacked. And that's the one that can go back and forth. So, if Op 4 holds this bunker complex, Blue 4 loses. Which really means that Blue 4 should have been hitting both positions at the same time. Even if they wanted this major attack to happen right here, they still needed those squads to be harassing the other bunker complex earlier, because now Op 4 are only going to have about 33 minutes to pull all of their forces from one area to another. And these guys are still going to have to drive across all of these SSRs here and loop around to get up to this position. I honestly think, okay, no. So they're doing what I thought they would. They're going to bring the trucks down here and just pick people up. Because it's already going to be painful enough for them to drive all on some of these ridges, but they're going to get the trucks, pick people up that move over to here as a rally point, and then ferry them over. But that means that Op 4 are in a really good spot to win right now because of that attrition. Which breaks my freaking heart, because Op 4 are the people that want to put pineapples on pizza. So Op 4 looks like they're taking this hilltop instead so they can get better eyes rather than that bunker, as they're trying to cautiously see where Blue 4 is. But with that, we see Charlie now folding off of that Overwatch position and moving up on foot. So Blue 4 are attempting to move forces up to this other area, but is it going to be enough? Creating a PvP Italian Mafia on Arma 3. Go for it, Shark. That sounds dope. So these guys are just staying right here, but it looks like... Actually, I stand corrected. They're starting to maneuver in now. I think they're waiting for these guys to be ready, maybe doing some medical, and then these guys were doing Overwatch to see if Op 4 would try to retake those positions, but they're not. Op 4, meanwhile, cautiously staying here, knowing that Blue 4 is to the north. But again, Op 4 know that Blue 4 are going to be coming to them, and I'd say Blue 4 outnumber Op 4 2-1 at this point. I mean, looking at the map and the skull count... Yeah, so Op 4's roster is hit this. Because everything else is dead. So it's literally 1, 2... I'm going to count these two together. 3, 4, 5 groups counting those two together. Blue 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to count those together. 6, 7, 8, and then 9. So 9 to 4 or 5 in terms of, 8 to 10 man squads. So Op 4 really need to stall out what they can here. Another worrisome thing is these guys doing their best to stall this Blue 4 element here. That's going to cost them a lot of ammo, though, which isn't going to leave them a lot of ammo for this fight up here. But now you got Blue 4 maneuvering in. They're popping some smoke grenades. Oh, frag grenades, actually. Interesting call. But they're going to try to get up on these positions and start picking people off. Because you got to remember, these guys have the really powerful no weapon sway guns. And you somehow blew up. Don't you love it when your buddy runs in front of you as you're trying to pull the trigger on somebody? Yeah, these guys are pretty much checking all these, trying to make sure there's no one locally here to stop them. The issue is the one marksman position is getting suppressed, so... And then these guys are coming over here and suppressing this hilltop, but these guys are too far away to notice because they're busy with the elements on that side. But we do have some Op 4 trying to come around and do some sneaky flanking here. Daedalus is a very good flanking player, but some well-placed grenades I think could wipe this entire squad. I say as we see the auto rifleman poke his head out and receive a face full of lead. But I'd love to see Daedalus run up and throw a grenade or two in here. And that's exactly what he's aiming for because he keeps looking up. He's trying to see if his grenade arc can actually hit something. But will he get friendly fired? Doesn't open up with a grenade. Instead is looking to breach. Gets the drop. Daedalus, buddy, grenade, grenade. Headshot. Other guy doesn't notice. You got this guy now peeking out. Grenade. And then he gets headshotted by the guy prone, realizing that was an enemy. But no, grenade. That's why I keep shouting it, because that's what you can use to really knock people out. This little hidey hole right here would have been a really nasty spot to tap him as well, but he did a great job hitting the guys up there. Minobi now coming up. He does have a UGL, so he could do even more pressure on that position. Timing-wise, we're at 27 minutes remaining. Blue 4 mounting up who they can on those two trucks. They're going to have to full send and get as close as they can. I'm not sure there's going to be enough time to grab the second amount of people, but they got to load those trucks with as much people as they can, have those guys running on foot. Delta already moving on foot because they're announcing that they're so close, but trucks need to come in. These guys need to then move up to that position. I'd say the trucks, in order to be playable, need to deploy somewhere in this ridge. It's valley. It's really risky to deploy with the enemies controlling the ridges, but they need the time to then move up the ridge and then get into the bunker. And they've got under 30 minutes to do it. Minobi coming up. He's going even further around. If he puts some GLs in that bunker, he's going to cause some pretty heavy casualties. But he needs to commit. I think he's being a little too cowardly right now. If you're going to be doing these flanking plays, you have to be aggressive. He's already done the right thing. Come around from a completely different angle. He can climb up these bunkers and look inside. He can get some pick-off headshots as well. He can throw some grenades in there. He's got a lot of options to work with here. And yet he decides to shoot, even though he's got a GL and he's got grenades. And then he's going to run right into the front. What are you doing? What are you doing? God, if only you had a way to shoot some type of explosive into that bunker, you know? It's... Alright. I get it. People get tunnel vision in the moment, and things like that come with experience. I just hope when they watch it back and they see me insulting them, it's like, all right, buddy, you did wrong here. That's fine. Next time, now you know what to do. And some players do improve, and some don't. But, you know, we watch them nonetheless.
I think he's taking his last breath.
So this is Charlie now developing on this ridge to do some Overwatch. You've got another squad up here handling their wounded. Runs and trips on a body and dies. It's like that scene from World War Z with the plane and the nighttime harbor with all the fog, and then the one scientist or whatnot is given a handgun and he falls down the the C-130 ramp, and then somehow shoots himself in the head after he falls. It's the dumbest shit. Yeah, always start off, if you have a flank on somebody and they don't immediately know you're there, start off with grenades to disorient them. Because they're not going to hear the gunshot noise of a grenade that then immediately hones them to your position. It allows you to distort them and confuse them, and then you start going for the gunfire. After you've already killed and knocked out a few of them, and it confuses the shit out of them. Bonus points if you can pick up an enemy gun, because you'll also confuse audio ID for the weaponry as well. Because, you know, most people don't sweat the shit out of this game and have every gun noise memorized, and just hear the friendly gun and assume, oh, that's just a friendly. Most people. Mink, I'm glad we can find some middle ground even though you like pineapple on pizza, because I agree. That movie was... That was just someone's fan fiction with someone else's title on it. But no, I think it was Max Brooks for World War Z. That was a really great book. Really nice, unique take on the zombie apocalypse. And I find it weird that he then went to write these, like, Minecraft books instead. But hey, you gotta make money somewhere, right? I think they can mount up all the remaining infantry into these trucks. I think they're just making a plan right now and trying to figure out where to go. But I think they can fit all of these guys into these remaining trucks. Yeah, so that truck's, I think, full, so now I need to go mount up in the other truck. No, I think there's still 2 more spots. But regardless, that would mean there's 11 more in here, and 1, 2... Yeah, the rest could at least fit up in that other truck, so I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, Delta on foot, I mean, they're going to get to wherever those trucks are going to drive to anyway. I agree, there are... It's 1:16, so there are 22 minutes left on the game clock. And I don't see, unless Blue 4 literally rushes up with those trucks and deploys like right here, which they could. Because Op 4 does not have good valley coverage, and I feel like they could literally get right on top of this area and then move up. They open themselves up to being flanked by that position. But I think those trucks could rush right under the objective and then charge everything in, and then Blue 4 still has a decent chance. Because the northern group wasn't able to establish a good overwatch position. They're now outnumbered because of those two, well, the first flank, not the second. And then these guys have basically been caught fighting over here. So it's going to be, I'm going to level with you. The position those trucks dismount is going to determine the game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If those trucks dismount too far, it's GG. Yes, the Italians are on Blue 4 fighting, and the Swiss are on Op 4 defending. They had someone crash here, so this other truck is waiting. Honestly, they have to leave them. They have to leave them. It sucks. But they have to leave them. I don't know why they're not mounting up in there. I think they're trying to see if anyone else is here, but they gotta go. They can send a truck back to bring people, but I think they could have fit everyone, because, yeah, you can fit 17 people in these trucks total. So they're just having some poorly timed logistical issues. And, again, every minute counts at this point. But if we don't see those trucks dismount somewhere in the valley, if they dismount earlier, I think it's GG. They just won't have enough time. But, again, I think, for the record, if they really risked it for the biscuit and rushed, they could get it. They could get infantry on top of that area. And I think these 3 are going to try to open the door here, but there's just too many defenders that could potentially stop them. 20 minutes left, yep. There isn't enough here. I'm sorry. You gotta give credit to the Overwatch teams, though. They've done a really great job of casually stalling Blue 4 out. Oh, so these guys are going off the ridge. Blue 4 have a straight shot if they want to take... No! They're doing the dismount too far. It's GG. I'm calling it now. 20 minutes is not enough time. Because they've got to move 2 kilometers.
Send in goats.
And then clear out an entire bunker complex. I don't see that happening in 20 minutes. Now, on map, without looking at the terrain, I could see it. But they are going to have literally 500 to 700 meters of uphill terrain to slow them down to move up, and then fighting a large defensive unit. I don't see it. I think they fumbled it. Lolo, thanks for the 19-month resub, broski. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. I hope you got a nice kick out of playing this scenario. What was it like playing with another Lolo in your squad? How confusing did that get? Because I noticed you and the other Lolo, TSV Lolo, my Lolo, were in the same group.
I don't know where he's at.
And, you know, this tracks for Settler. He is a cautious PvPer as a commander, but at this point, with 20 minutes remaining, opt for having the ability to be 1 point above you. I don't think there's a chance here, because the only other way Blue 4 could score 2 points is to knock out Op 4 to 5 or less players. And you got 4 over there, you got 6 on the Overwatch, you got 4 on that hill, and then you got, Jesus, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 in the bunker. So there's no way that's happening. I don't know what these two chuckleheads are doing going up here. Maybe thinking that there's a vehicle to take. I mean, they're commands, so they don't really matter that much, but I really don't understand. It's because I fat-fingered the M key and accidentally hit the N key. Yeah, this squad, they might actually go around and try to drive around and dismount somewhere over here. Which is risky because you don't know, like the Overwatch element could then start hitting you, so they're going to have to do a far dismount. That would be really weird to see these guys charge up on a route that could potentially be intercepted when we don't see Blue 4 go up the more level-headed option, but I see these guys are probably going to try to push up here to take the ridge to let everything walk in on foot. But all the more reason of why don't we, especially when we have Delta right here to Overwatch, why don't we have the truck coming up the valley? I don't know, really weird calls by Blue 4 in the final game, and it's turning into a pretty nasty fumble. The only chance we really have is if these 3 are able to somehow pull a miracle here. I don't see it. We got Op 4 now firing at the reserve group on Blue 4. They're going to be in the middle of 2 Blue 4 elements, though, so these guys are going to get shot out. That awful moment you realize you're between 2 enemy groups and you didn't realize it, and then you open up and absolutely get slaughtered. They're trying to move over to this area, but now they're being exposed by this other element, and they're getting cut apart. I'm going to be honest, though. It is good for Blue 4 to find these outbound elements here, because now Op 4 is going to be in the central objective, so it's more likely that Blue 4 is, before they even clear the bunker out, going to get the 5 or less to get the 2 points on top. But we see that Blue 4 maneuvered in here, and they got absolutely cut down. Gonzalez with a really good predictable grenade throw, knowing that the survivor potentially vaulted into there. That's good. Oh, and look at that far dismount on that truck. There's no way. At this point, this needs to be a beeline to the final objective. This is going to stall the units out here. We're going to see Blue 4 trickle forces in at this point. The dismounts are too far. Command's playing it overly cautious. There's not communication with any forces in the field. It's a GG at this point. the only hope Blue 4 has is to just rush everything to the final zone because of the time differential. However, because they dismounted so far off, there's still going to be another 5 to 10 minutes of maneuvering, and then there'll be that 5 to 15 minutes of breaching. No, not even 5 to 10 minutes. It's going to be 5 to 15 minutes of maneuvering and 5 to 10 minutes of breaching at that point. I don't see it. Wrathful, I actually have been remembering. It's just, I was going to try to start it on Pay for Pain, but instead I'm going to be starting it when I get back into my normal stream schedule. Because starting tomorrow till next Thursday, I'm going to be on a reduced stream schedule because I have people over. Ooh, I was able to get him as Op4 brought their guy up, so that's good. Double tap in the body, so good headshot there. But that's when we'll start everything up again. So Plox, just be patient with me, broski, but I have it written down and I remember. Don't you worry.
Ouais, ça dévale, ouais. Ouais, grave.
So again, once it reaches 1 hour and 38 minutes, that's game over. So there are 11 minutes left on the clock. I think Delta is going to be able to get in. I'm a little worried about these groups because they have to go downhill and then uphill. And that's going to cause them a lot of time because when you're forced to make those maneuvers, one, you're going to probably knock yourselves out on these steep ridges. And two, I mean, it's going to force you into the slow walk animation anyway. And plus, I mean, Op4 have Overwatch on that entire ridge, so everything over there is screwed. So that leaves India to then back it up, Bravo then to back it up, and then Foxtrot and Hotel are going to be coming around on a different angle. It's just, are they going to make it in time when they have only... I think I did my math wrong, actually. It's, no, it's about 12 minutes left. Which means, unfortunately, we're going to have to tolerate having pineapple on pizza. And you know what? I can't stand for that. So now we've got Delta starting to get on top of that position, but Nubas got picked off. That's unfortunate. He was doing quite well today. So we got these two still trying to find that one Blue 4 guy. We got some Op 4 on the outer bunker areas. Look at this. You got Blue 4 charging down the ridge, throwing smokes everywhere. At the very least, this is going to turn attention away from the local forces up here. And that could potentially give Delta an opportunity to get in because Op4 is focusing everything on this massive distraction on the side. And I'm going to be honest, that is pretty distracting. All of that smoke coming down, all those bodies. So we could see Riel get into a decent spot, but he's got eyes on all these guys here. Gets a knockout and is immediately picked off by an Op4 defender. I'm going to be honest, in his shoes, I would have bypassed and just tried to go into the bunker area itself. But again, either way, it's really risky to be up there on your own, but you have to make a call. I can also see the wisdom in trying to go for people right there, but he wakes back up miraculously. And gets the revenge knockout. Oh my god. No freaking way. No freaking way. Double taps. Double taps. The triple. And he's gotten a kill for previous action. Gets some more shots on. Gets a knockout on Kevin. Op4 did not see this coming. Can Riel, the one Italian serviceman, save it for the entire Blue 4 force? and stop the pineapples from being put on the pizza. Op 4, I believe, are going to be alerted to his presence. We do have a nice keyhole there, but they do not engage. Going to be doing a bit of medical. He shouldn't be exposing himself like this. He should be hiding behind this red box. He is the only guy in the zone right now. Other forces trying to hold off other Blue 4 elements. 9 minutes on this round remaining. You know, if he technically destroys one of the boxes here, he could stop it. He runs in. Gets another double kill. 7 kills for Riel. He just needs to hack this computer. Remember, this can be rehacked. So even if he gets it, it doesn't mean that the Italians have won. However, this is the objective that will give the Swiss 2 points. And he changes it. Can he hold it for the next 7.5 minutes, or 9.5 minutes? Look at this. He comes out. He gets more kills. He is up to 9 kills. Riel, the leader of Delta, saving it. Holy shit! Riel gets kill number 10! At least I think that was 10. That should have been 10. Yeah! And then he gets snapshotted! By Banks! Oh no! There's 6 players remaining on the outside, and there's a few in here. Guys, that objective might not matter. If Blue 4 continue the fight for the next 7.5 minutes and get a few more Op 4 knockouts, Blue 4 are going to get the number. Okay, there's still the 2 out there. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's an 8th, 9. There's 11. So if 6 more Op 4 die, Blue 4 win by default with the 2-point spread. Riel coming in with the VIP clutch. Again, you didn't open with the grenade. That's 2 dead. If 4 more die. You know, a crazy thing is a lot of these Op 4 guys, they're not in the bunker, they're in the Overwatch area. There goes Banks. Solomons gets the revenge kill there. We need to check the terminal. Is it still considered hacked? Yes, it is. Because there's only a 2-man team in here holding this area. I thought they had an element peeking this corner, but they were further back in. And Blue 4 transitioning in. If Riel didn't get those 10 kills, you'd still have these guys defending and stopping Blue 4 from coming in. It would have been much closer, but Riel, the man, the myth, the legendary defender of Italian cuisine, the slayer of pineapples, has done it. Op 4 down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players. So if 3 more die, Blue 4 get that. 2 additional bonus points for knocking down Op 4 to 2 or less players. That just goes to show you how one man can turn everything around. One man can take the W. These guys just got incredibly confused on who was friendly and who was enemy there. And that grenade gets the knockout. I think he tried to throw a grenade in, but it bounced off the glass because that glass is still solid. Oh, Mr. 249. That's 2 KIA, it's GG. There are only 5 Op 4 remaining. I'm going to confirm that. I don't see any more on the map. That's GG. Ladies and gentlemen, the Italians have clutched it. Thanks to one brave man whose belief in not putting pineapple on pizza has saved the world from a disgusting habit that honestly has no place in this day and age. Should I tell them that that's a friendly vehicle? Nah, I think they'll figure it out. Alright guys, 3.5 minutes remaining. What are your thoughts? I thought that overall went quite well. GG. Anyway guys, in 2 hours we'll be having the Pog Op. I will be putting announcements out. And then I gotta go to the grocery store with Bloodwing, and we'll see how things go. I mean, wait a minute.
Ma non puoi investirlo.
The hell happened there? Based on that, I think he got run over, which you're technically not allowed to do, but it's fine. Op 4 already lost. Then again, what am I saying? Guys, he was fighting to put pineapple on pizza. Of course he's allowed to be vehicular manslaughtered, alright? Masano got kicked off. Don't know what that was about. Ah, I think it was the people tied to the guy that just got run over. That's funny. Not that it matters. The damage is done. That just goes to show that there's a dead admin watching. But will Emil realize that these are not friendly? Emil, please. Emil! Claw! Bruh!
I didn't know what was my color, so I just waited. Bueno.
Morning.
Amazing. And that's all Op 4 dead or downed. Alright, guys. That is it. GG. Blue 4, I think, got a perfect score. As they should. Because Italians everywhere need to defend the rights of pizza. Ladies and gentlemen, that means don't put any fucking pineapple on it. Anyway. I don't know what that he's running for, but I'm waiting to see the official score, but we can go ahead. There it is. Perfect score. Mwah. Mamma mia. Thank you so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers. And have a good one. Let me pay out that prediction. Was it ever actually, it was shaky there, but we don't worry about that. Back in 2 hours.